Hey, Facebook friends, how are you? It's Monday, and I'm coming to you from my little corner of the world here in Nashville, Tennessee. Let me know if you're watching. Say hi in the comments. I'm actually going to share this real quick over on Facebook. And then I want to talk to you guys about telling your kid how smart they are, because it's actually not a helpful thing to do. So, I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you what to say instead. Hold on. As this loads, bear with me. Okay, let me share this. And then we'll get into it. Okay. Sharing. Taking forever. The internet is slow today. Anyways. Okay, here we go. So, let's talk about telling your kid that they're so smart. Why is that even a problem? That seems like it's a nice thing to say, right? I'm telling him or her how smart he is or how smart she is. And I can tell that he's smart and I can tell that she's smart and they're really good at school and like, what's the problem, right? Telling kids that the thing that I say is, oh, that's perfect. I say this all the time, to the point where I've actually asked my kid to say, if you hear me say that, tell me that I've said it, because it's so it just comes out of my mouth. I don't even realize that I'm saying it. Jennifer Barnes. Or saying that you're so good at this, or you're a natural, or you're whatever. Like, we are good parents. And so we want to tell our kids that they're doing a really great job. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay? Oh gosh, the lighting just changed. There we go. There's nothing inherently wrong with you praising your kids, but the words that you use can actually make a difference. And so if you're someone like me and you were praised this way growing up, you learned that this was your ability. And if somehow you lacked one day in this ability, let's take grades for instance. Same in the classroom. Yes, teachers. I would love to hear from you. If I was given the idea that I was really good at school, right? Well, now the pressure is on, right? If I don't do well in school one day or one semester or 1 year or whatever, somehow that has now been attached to my self-worth. And if I fail, well, then I'm disappointing my parents and I'm disappointing myself. And if that's the thing I'm good at, what else could I possibly be good at? Because this is the one thing I've got, right? And so we don't mean to put pressure on our kids at all, but it happens, okay? And we don't even realize we're doing it. When you are talking about, Jason just didn't care. I know, babe, it's okay. And some kids don't care at all, right? Some kids, like my amazing husband, was just like, whatever. Some other kids, like myself, cared a lot, internalized it, turned ourselves into perfectionists, and are now working really hard to undo those things. And we stress out about things, and we've got to make ourselves better and better. And like the work never stops, right? And if you're a perfectionist and you understand this concept, that's something that you probably don't want your kids to inherit, right? Like, I don't want them to have to worry about this. I don't want them to have this undue stress on themselves. I don't want them to have to, worry if they're good enough or feel like they can't make mistakes or not feel like they have to overperform, feel like they have to, hey, Brandy, feel all kinds of stuff, right? The things that go on in your head, right? Your kids are picking up on this, okay? So when you tell them things like, you're so smart, that's perfect, that's my thing, you're so good at this, you're a natural, we can tweak these a little bit to make them better so that our kids are not sucked into this, oh my gosh, I'm already so good at this. Number one, I can't get any better because I'm already good. Okay, so that puts a damper on them wanting to improve and thinking that they even can improve. This leads to cheating, trying to like sneak those answers in because if they don't get an A, it's like the end of the world. Okay, so there's like some deception that can form in there. If praising their smarts alone actually lowers their IQ because there's no growth. They think it's like an inherited quality. They're either the best at it or they're not. So if they're not good at it, they're not going to bother to try. And this was something that I dealt with for a long, long time. If I wasn't already good at it, I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I didn't want to practice. I didn't want to get better. I didn't want to try harder. I was either good or I wasn't. And I'm going to focus on the things that I'm already good at so that I look at, I can see myself as better, right? It's a self-worth thing. Jen says, I prefer to praise the effort versus the outcome. Yes, that's what we're talking about today. You're my next guest speaker, Jen Barnes. Cresswell, I know that's your new name. You'll always be Jen Barnes to me. So if you only encourage your kids to do the things that they're good at, then they're going to be afraid to take risks. They're going to be afraid to learn new things, all right? We don't mean to do it, but it's happening. And the things that we can say instead are exactly what Jen was talking about. Focus on talking about their efforts instead of what happens in the end. Because whether they fail or succeed, they probably tried really hard, right? And so that's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on what they are doing great, even if they totally fell flat on their face in the soccer game or their test or whatever it is, okay? The focus that you want to... Okay, bye. Thanks for watching. So the focus is effort based, okay? Progress that they're making. Things like you tried really hard. I noticed that you never gave up. You have such a positive attitude. You've really improved on this because whatever. That was very responsible. I like how you took ownership of that. None of this is like results based. All of it is focusing on the steps that they took or the effort that they made or the the hard thing that they tried, right? Instead of whether they were good at it or not. They tried something new. They attempted something. They got better. They took a risk. They did it scared. They were brave, whatever, okay? So focus on the effort, and it's going to be a lot more beneficial to your kids. If they're already not good at something, the failure only reinforces that they lack the ability, and so they won't want to try again. So we focus on the fact that they did try. Oh my gosh, that was such a good try. And then they want to go try again. Oh, there's value in trying, even if I failed. There's value in making the effort, even if it didn't work. Let's try something else. Let's try something else. Let's try something else. Okay? So there's a lot more in this book I'm putting together, and it's almost done. It launches on Sunday, on the 15th. If you haven't done your taxes, get your taxes done, because that's the day. So tax day, reward yourself with this book. You can pre-order it now. But it talks more about, I'm going to flip the camera around and share it with you. Where do I turn the camera? So here it is on my computer. This is an actual digital download that I'm creating for you guys. So I'm just going to scroll through here. This is a 3-part book. There's a parent guide. So most of this is so far right here that you're seeing. This is the parent stuff. I want to share with you guys what growth mindset is. So you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's not just, like, why are we doing this and why should I change? There's books you can read to your kids. There's podcasts you guys can listen to together for kids and parents. There's movies you guys can watch together. Things about, like, what to say instead, which is what we were just talking about. Instead, you can say these things. Why is it important? Here we go. You can praise your kids all day long. Just focus on effort, commitment, resourcefulness, and tenacity. Okay? And turn this back around. So there's a ton of other stuff in here. I included a section on troubleshooting. What the heck do I do when my kid says blank? Okay? And this came about because my kid said, I must be the worst kid in the world. He was upset about something. I must be the worst kid in the world. I was like, oh my gosh. What the hell do I do? Okay, so there's a troubleshooting guide in here for if they say things like this, here's what you can do. Here's how you can respond. Because a lot of times we're left a little tongue-tied and we're left a little, I don't know what the hell to do. I don't know how the hell to fix this. There's a list of feeling words. A lot of times our kids don't know what they're feeling. The first thing that we can do instead of trying to fix their problems is to acknowledge their feelings. Sometimes we don't know. So there's a list in here to help you. Building grit and resilience, building their confidence, questions you can ask at the dinner table. And then there's activities for them to be grateful, things that they like about themselves, things that they're already good at, things they want to get better at doing. We're going to talk about goal setting, problem solving, creating a dream board. So there's puzzles and games and activities in here to help them essentially have higher self-worth, because that is where the perfectionism stuff comes into, because you feel like you have to prove yourself through all the things that you're doing, whether they're perfect or not, so on and so forth. Okay, so, and then there's a bunch of coloring pages. So this is available now. You can order it now. I'll put the link below. You guys can go check it out. And I'd love to hear what you think. You know, the people that have already ordered it have been sharing with me some of the things that their kids have been struggling through. So if you've got things that your kids are struggling through, I'd love to hear. I really, really would, because I want to tailor this in a way that actually helps you directly, and we can pinpoint some problems, and you can get the stuff in your family, the stress, the perfectionism, the people-pleasing, the anxiety. That's all stuff that we have going on here. And so this is something I didn't just make for myself, but I made for you guys as well. So I hope it's really helpful. I would love to hear back. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, go check it out. Talk to you soon.